Hi, it's Ricky of Moshville Times here once again. Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have Glaswegian metalers, the Guns for Hire. So tonight we have drummer Martin, we've got guitarist Ethan, and we have bassist Greg. Oh, we've also got the guitarist vocalist James Hetfield, or Jack. So thanks for turning up, mate. But I've got to ask a simple question. How the devil are you guys?
A good man. How are you?
Yeah, it's a bit like silly season. I've got all these interviews to do, and I've got a gig coming up in October as well that I'm doing interviews for, stuff like that as well. So that's why my hair colour is the way it is. But we're not here to talk about my hair and things like that. How are you guys? How are you doing, Greg? Since apparently he's going to be the main vocal one of the band tonight. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good. I didn't realise I'd signed up to be the speaker for the group of us, to be honest. I'm only the bass player at the end of the day.
Singer boys were relegated for what he did last time.
Yeah. And it's good to see you, Ethan. I've seen you about and stuff like that, but I never thought of any reason to say hi to you. But now I've got to say hi to you. But it's nice to meet you anyway.
Oh, you too.
No, all good. But before we start, first of all, before we start the interview, Jack, how was Blink 182? Because this guy, ladies and gentlemen, was talking to me for days about coming onto my Moshville radio show last Thursday night. He gave me the songs, he gave me pictures of himself and everything, band pictures, I might say. And then the day before the show, after we had agreed to the songs and everything, he informed me that he was going to see Blink 182. Well, in fact, he told me that he can't make it because he's got a prior engagement and he'll run over into the time. It was only his colleague that was telling me that he was going to Blink 182. So all the money that you've spent on the ticket, you completely forgot that you were going to.
It was actually a gift from my sister and her husband, to be honest. So I mean, I didn't spend any money on it. So.
Thanks even worse though, given this gift of this great band in the biggest venue in Glasgow, and you forget.
Yes. Do you know what? Do you know what I think it is? I think he saw this opportunity to come on the radio as an even bigger opportunity than seeing Blink 182. Because probably after tonight, I'll never invite him on here again. But who knows?
Well, I've screwed it for myself. That's it.
But also, I just have to point out that because Martin was on the radio, if you were to see the chat room that was there that last night, Martin brought some groupies into the room.
We did look at the chat for a split second, and there was a few groupies that looked like there, to be honest. So, well in, Martin.
Yeah. So,
they weren't after me.
Well, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? We don't know who they are.
I was chasing you, sunshine.
It's probably Ethan. He's the one with the hair, isn't it? Mind you, Greg's got the hair as well, you know, and Jack's got his height going from. But yeah, so
not really, man.
but that radio interview went very well. Martin talked a lot of sense and told me a lot about the band. But yeah, obviously, so one of the main reasons for this interview is that on October the 19th, you're coming to Glasgow to play Moshville Rocktoberfest. And for the next 5 or 6 weeks, I'll be interviewing each band that's on the bill. So firstly, thanks so much for saying yes. And also making the very long trip up to Glasgow to play. So I was just wondering, like, what number of bus are you getting to go to Ivory Blacks?
A nice bus called an Audi A3. That's what I'm taking anyway. So I mean, take the pics. So yeah.
The good thing is you guys have played the venue before, so you're well aware of like the ULEZ zones, as farcical as they are. So it's good to see that you've. But what does that mean? So who's going to be the driver of the gig? Who's the one that's not going to be able to have a pint?
See, to be fair, I normally drive in anyway and see if there's anybody I can run home because, well, I've got a car that's ULEZ or low emission zone compliant, thankfully. And then Jack, much the same. He's got to run down air, so it's a bit of we kind of do a wee bit of sharing it. To be fair,
yeah. Do you ever get the feeling, Greg, that's why they keep you in the bands, because you keep dropping them off everywhere? You drop them off home at the end of every gig. That's why you're still in the band.
Don't give away your secrets.
Yeah, but so you're also, as I found out on Thursday night, like you're busy behind the scenes as well. You're in the process of getting something officially released by the band, which is a long time coming. I mean, okay, you're only 3 years old, and you've obviously had the obstacles to be where you are just now. But how does it feel to have it at this stage, getting ready for it to be released? And let's ask Ethan how that is.
No, it's all good. Again, just many months and years of just rehearsing in the studio and having no prospect of it being released. It's nice to start getting some movement and getting some artwork done and kind of getting some plans. Yeah, it's a long time coming. You can certainly see the start of the treadmill, so to speak, of releases that Martin's ever so scared about. He's like, the second we start releasing, it's game on. So it's but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So when did you come into the band? Because I think Jack was the one that founded the band, but were you quickly behind him and stuff like that, or?
When was it? Was it 2020 or 2021? I can't remember. It was one of those years. It was just
Well, if I read the band camera right, the band was formed in 2021.
So
right, okay.
I actually think it was Ethan, because I've known Ethan since like day dot. We've been best pals for like my whole lives near enough, and I kind of invited him along. I think it must have been about a year into the band.
Yeah.
Just whilst at a point where we were kind of trying to establish a set lineup kind of thing.
No, it was his gig. He called us into the...
Oh, I invited him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It was
song,
2022. Yeah, it was like a charity gig event that I was doing. It was like a fundraising thing for WWF. So I put on a charity gig and then brought these guys on, and then it was like, and then I played like a song with them because obviously I'm Greg's friend.
Yeah.
And then one guitar left, and then I came in. So that must have been 2022, I think, because it was third year uni.
All right, so you've done it for the WWE, not the wrestling.
Not the wrestling,
No,
I'm afraid.
no.
Yeah.
And on stage, it was great fun.
So was it a case of like you liked what you saw and you saw that there were guitarists down, so you thought, yeah, I'll go for this?
Yeah, pretty much. I was musically starved at the time. I hadn't been like in an actual band.
I was going to say, like, were you in something previous before, but you liked what these guys were doing?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, well, not in something. The closest thing was like Greg and I in like a high school jam band that never got anywhere.
We had many attempts at starting bands between Ethan and I, and I invited them to play up a particular song, and he liked it. And the first thing he did after he came off stage was asked, "Right, if you guys are ever looking, I'm here."
Wow. Yeah. I bet you made. I bet you still made Ethan audition twice for the position, though. He's not just going to walk into the band. You've got to make him audition twice. Was that right?
So you get 3 stages of the interview.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Jack, then, with you founded it, how did you find Greg?
So basically, I went on to, there was a sort of like Ayrshire in Glasgow music page on Facebook. I just literally went, look, I'm looking to have folk in this band. Messaged me if you're interested, and Greg was one of the first to actually comment and say, look, I'm interested if you need a bassist. I thought, well, you're coming with me because there's no bases about, so on you come then. And it's just kind of hit off and established from there. So
you see, Greg, this is what he's actually told me, but in private. He told me that this is what he's going to say, but in private, you were actually the 7th bassist that he auditioned. So how does it feel to be the 7th bassist?
I believe it was the 24th, actually. Do you know what? It feels good, boosting the self-esteem, keeping me, feeling great about my talent as a bass player, playing those 3 notes in that top string.
That's all we needed at the time. Screw it. Why not? Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Jack, you found Greg then, and Greg found Ethan, or Ethan just put himself forward for the band. What about good old Martin then? How did you come across Martin?
So basically, we had a drummer in before, and I knew this, my pal from college, and he stepped up just to be like, look, I'll come in for this first gig that you've got, because a drummer had like just dropped out last minute.
Yeah.
And so after that gig, they went to another band and thought, fine, you came in to help us, it's all right. And then we just put it out there looking for a drummer. Martin was one of the first to comment again.
Yeah.
He came in for the hair, he was bamming us all up like nothing on earth. So we thought, great, you're in. There you go.
It's quite easy to get in your band. I could. If you ever need an air guitarist, then I'm your man. I'm probably the best air guitarist you're ever likely to meet.
I
like
do
to say,
believe we're looking for somebody for the triangle. If you're interested.
listen, I said I was keeping the difficult questions for Jack. You've just nominated yourself for the difficult questions, mate. Right? But yeah, most importantly for you though, Jack, since you founded the band, how does it feel to get at this stage where it's just at that stage where it's nearly released? Is this like a huge weight off your shoulders?
It's starting to feel that way now. I think it will hit more once we actually release it, because it's more in the mind of like, right, this needs to be, in my mind, it needs to be perfect. This needs to be like this, and this.
Yeah.
But like, for this full journey of the band, it's been great. Been loving every minute of it. So
yeah,
I can't ask for more. So yeah.
So what are we thinking? Are we thinking a 4-track EP, a 5-track EP with 4 original songs and a cover, or what are you thinking?
Probably we're thinking of more of all originals, weren't we?
So there's going to be 5 songs?
Maybe 6.
Well, you see, if you say maybe 6, then you may as well just get... I bet you've got other songs in the back catalogue. I bet Ethan's got like a whole folder on his computer and stuff like that, all songs recorded. Why not keep another 2 and make an album?
See, to be fair, I think I was kind of Ethan. First of all, I would just like to highlight Ethan. If you ask him to write a song, he's got one written within the day. He's either got a lot of time twiddling his thumbs, or he
was it from somebody else.
Amazing songwriter, but I think a 4 or a 5-track EP with a wee single out as well would be a good move from what I'm gathering from previous chats.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a double-edged sword. I mean, the guys in Dog Tired, for example, they would release an album, then it'll be 3 years an album, 3 years another album. But they do it old school. They love the artwork, they love the lyrics, they love the whole package of holding something, whereas the younger generation is single, couple of months single, and it's constant keeping the name out there. It's just, you don't know what's the best to do, but I think you guys just need to get something out there to say, hey, we're the Guns for Hire.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Just give somewhere a place to go when you hear the name, because it's just like, there's nothing. There's just like a one live demo on Spotify. So just anything, a single, a EP, because that's not really the whole point of the first EP is not to do anything really with it. It's to have your portfolio, to then bounce off of. So yeah, I guess just kind of.
So what kind of stage are you at? Like, can you say when you think it is going to be out before the end of the year? Do you think?
100%. It'll definitely be out before the end of the year. I think we were aiming for, when was it, Martin? I think it was maybe end of September into October, was it?
For the first single. For
the first single, at least. Just getting something out would be September, October, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know exactly where to send it as well, Moshville.radio, and we've got plenty of DJs. We've got American DJs as well. So we'll give it some airtime. And yeah, just get the buzz going, to send the EP to Moshville Times as well. There's plenty of reviewers as well. I haven't done one in about 18 months or something like that. I'm more doing this stuff, but there's plenty of reviewers that I can give it to. So we'll definitely review it here at Moshville Times. If it's any good. I mean, do you think it's any good?
I hope so.
I would hope so.
Wouldn't be writing it if it wasn't it. So there we go. Like.
So like you say, there's only like a couple of songs. You've got a couple of songs on Spotify, for example, then. So what would you say the subtle differences for the new EP, would you say, compared to your early material, especially Gospel of the Heroes? That seems to be like the anthem for your band. What would you say are the subtle differences from what you're writing now to what you wrote then?
I think Sorry, man. On you go, mate. On you go.
I think the reason for that is who was in the band at the time. It was like Ethan wasn't the band at the time when we wrote Gospel Heroes. It was a different guitarist. So he's put a hint in his little bit to add to it, and it's changed as well. Like there's different things happen. So you watch it the live version on YouTube and you watch this on Spotify, which is fine, but it sounds better now than then, just by having better technology at hands and bits of changes over time. Going, I'm not sure about that, but I'm bored of that. But I'll try this. Oh, I like that. Keep that.
Yeah.
I will try this next bit.
I think we've had improvements as musicians, and the band dynamic has improved over time since we originally wrote the song as well. Because I would say that it's one of those kind of we all brought our own little bits to Gospel of the Heroes particularly. We brought in our own elements, and it's actually, we were listening back to the original track once, and we're all having a laugh about it because it's very, very, very different to what it.
I thought you were going to say it was shit.
It's an accurate stamp of it's an accurate stamp of the band at that time.
Yeah.
And now we have a more accurate version of what's happening within the dynamics now.
So I don't know whether it's got anything to do with Ethan, because when I've seen Ethan on a video and stuff like that, he's wearing Cannibal Corpse shirts. So I don't know if he's bringing any heavier influences into the band, which are most welcome in my corner, by the way.
Yes, I do like heavy, groovy, thrashy riffs. So I try. Like when I first joined, like the other guitarist, like he was like a blues player. So like it was kind of the point where I was given heavy riffs, and I'm like, you know what? Even if I take this riff that's completely different to what we're trying to do, if you can dumb it down, if you can bluesify it, similarly, if I can thrash up, or make a bit more heavier version of a blues riff, you kind of get an amalgamation of something.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just like here's my take on stuff. Feel free to tear it apart and do whatever you want with it, even if this is just my take on something.
Yeah.
But I feel like the heaviness is starting to kind of stick around, as part of
good man.
We're kind of liking it as a band. It's more fun to play. It's kind of it's just.
Do you know what's quite funny with the festival this year? We were kind of going in the more rock and hard rock, and obviously we went with what we've heard. But something tells me you're going to be turning up with like Cannibal Corpse songs and stuff. No, you're not. But you know what I mean. So you're going to sound completely different to what people have originally thought, unless they've seen you live, because you probably played these songs live, a couple of them anyway, so they'll know what to expect. But Jack, what kind of like transformation have you seen from a couple of years ago to what you're seeing now? What do you feel?
Well, personally for myself, like I was more of a rock kind of guy when I first started the band as well. So like having like three metalheads to this point now in the band has definitely made my music taste a lot better now. And I've noticed it in writing, I've noticed it in playing and all. This is great. I love it. Honestly, it's so good just listening to more metal stuff rather than just solely rock, and that's it. So
yeah, you must be pleased that it's going to be finally getting out there, and like you say. So I think it's not going to be a revamped version of the song that's out just now. It's going to be a completely new song that nobody. Well, look forward to that, mate. Look forward to that.
We've played it live a good few times anyways, this song that's coming out, so folk will have an idea of what we can bring to the table. So
good stuff. Are you allowed to say where you're going to record the EP and who's going to record and mix and master it for you? Are you allowed to say that? Or is it going to be like a strictly DIY job? Because that's huge at the moment. DIY artwork, mixing and stuff like that. It's just local people, So what are you thinking?
It's going here. I don't want to interrupt you.
This man Martin has been an absolute god. Oh, chucking beer about everywhere.
The 100% beer, yeah.
100% alcoholic so that I can drive home later on. It's in my shoe and everything. As I was saying, Martin has been an absolute godsend, or as he's tagged in the group chats, drummer. But he is a sound tech. That's what he does for a living. So we've got access to all the correct equipment to record in a studio room. We could walk in, all plug in and record the full musical track aside from vocals because we would prefer to do that in a sort of vocal booth or create our own vocal booth.
Yeah.
But that's been an absolute. So that I think that's the plan, because that is it's saving us money, and it's giving us the experience to be able to do it ourselves in future as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you allowed to shed some light on the tools of the trade that you do have, Martin?
I mean, there's nothing special. This is the thing. It's equipment that I had from so we used the mixer we used was the same mix I had from the old band, and they all in-ear monitors. And that's what it kind of started, was we're all in-ears. It means that in the room there's no amps on. There's only drums and vocals. So you get to the situation of you're in a very sterile environment for recording the guide tracks and recording the drums. I just need to make sure Jack is as far away from me as possible, because he's busy screaming his head off. Not because I don't like him being closer, it's just I kind of go in that corner over there because you're too loud.
Yeah.
And beyond that, it's kind of just becoming hit records, do what we can. And it's kind of right, like that? Nope, try again. Like that? Yep, take that one. And then I bring it home and I carve it all up and just get started on doing stuff at home. And well, they was in the engineers I work with have their own storage unit in Glasgow. I was in there, and I was like, I'm going to plug this in, have it on the PA system we've got set up.
Yeah.
And the boss walked in, what is that? And racket. And I was just, at the time, just listening to a snare drum, mixing it. And he's like, what is that? And I'm like, that's me. He's like, that's usual tech shenanigans. Snare drum sounds like shit and walks out the door. And I'm like, cheers, mate.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But Ethan, does that mean that he pisses you off when, say, like you're recording your riffs or you're recording solos and stuff like that, and Ethan will say something like, "Are you sure that's the one that's going to be working?" Or "Would you like to have a wee go at that again?" or something like that?
Okay, well, the guitar stuff's quite isolated because it's like modern recording and such. You can just kind of plug into a DAW and send Martin the tracks. You know, it's like so. The other stuff that's really done, and if anything, it's probably Martin that his head's done in by all of us, you know, because he's the one is in the room recording where we're all playing. Yeah. So it's like he's the one in the spotlight, whereas, you know, a guitarist can hide away in my own room and just do 50 takes and then send them the one golden take that I won't admit that it took me 50 takes.
Yeah. So you said you like the heavier side of things. Does that mean that you've got like would you have a wee side project in the go, or are you going to just completely 100% focus on this band?
I wouldn't mind a solo project, say like a black and folk metal band or something. That would be like a fun side project.
Yeah.
But I recently joined a pirate metal band. There's like a wee just bit of fun on the side. Just because it's just yeah, you get good fun.
You've got a pirate fetish or something. Who knows? I mean,
who knows? Maybe I've not admitted that to myself.
Good stuff. But Jack, being the founder member of the band, like, you're probably fed up hearing that. You're all in the band and things like that. But do you do the majority of the songwriting, or are you quite open for all the other band members to contribute to writing the songs? Or are you happy to have this pressure on yourself with the songwriting?
It's all a collective sort of contribution to all the songs. So I'd like write lyrics, but Martin's also wrote lyrics. Ethan's wrote a lot of the riffs. Greg's wrote a lot of riffs as well. So it's more collective when we do that, and that's how it works so much better that way, rather than just one of us going, here's the tune, here's the stuff, go play it. So yeah.
So Jack, is Ethan the one that sends you a riff at 4 o'clock in the morning saying this is the best riff I've ever written, by the way?
Yeah, all the time. Honestly, I need to
actually, it can't be more accurate.
It can't be more
It's actually so accurate. Sometimes I'll be like literally 11:30. I'm like, something just comes to my head, and just bug in the group chat. I'll be like, guys, audio file, listen.
So is he just Jack? Is he much more a riff machine than yourself? Like he's constantly writing.
100%. Yeah, Ethan's like chucked in so many riffs within the past month. It's unbelievable. So I mean, Ethan's always on it. So.
Yeah.
Jack's a lyric machine.
You do all your stuff, and then does Martin basically do absolute hee-haw for like 6 months, and then he gets the guitars and the bass, and then he spends a week or two getting the drums sorted?
See, I would answer aye to that. but I don't want to hit off Martin the next time I see him, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut for that. And so
Martin is an incredibly good drummer. You know, not as good as me. No, I can't play. Well, I can a bit, but not as good. He's Martin. You could give him a song, and you give him a riff that Ethan's wrote, for example, or written, and he'll get something absolutely solid pulled out, and we've never had anything to complain about.
Off that one time. We'll talk about that.
Well, you better watch, Martin. You better watch when you go out that door there. You might bang your head in the door after that comment, you know, a wee bit of an ego boost there. Yeah, but what about yourself, Greg? Like, I know that you're playing bass in the band, but can you also play guitar? And have you brought any kind of riffs to the band as well?
There's one song in particular, and you can absolutely tell 100% from a mile off that it's me that wrote it, because I've got the intro. It's the same kind of thundery rumble right through. It's very bass orientated. I'm quite excited to get that in particular recorded. But I can play a little bit of guitar and a little bit of drums, but I wouldn't say I could write either of them. I'm better at sticking to what I really know.
Yeah.
And have learned over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Absolutely.
Jack's the easy target.
Thanks very much for that, guys. But carrying on with the songwriting for the songs in the band then, how does it work when, because you do have all your influences, some have got the heavier, some have got the blues and the rock, how, when it comes to like negotiating what stays in and what goes out of a song, how easy or difficult can it be? Is there a moody one in the band, for example, that goes in a huff when the riff is not getting included in a song, for example?
Not really, to be honest. No, we all kind of bounce off each other and with our ideas and influences, to be honest. So if like one riff doesn't get put in, we just say it like it is and just, well, mainly like the other three tell me your riffs are shite. So I mean, but we just kind of give it to each other straight and just say it's no disrespect or nothing. So it's just like, but this would sound better like this, so that would be better used in another song. So
yeah, there's no.
Fire on.
All right. There's no egos. There's no elitism. It's just, does this sound good? Yes or no. That's it. You know, amongst everyone.
I think because we write as a collective, as opposed to writing. So somebody will bring a riff, somebody else will add a wee bit to that, and Jack plays vocal mastery, Martin will stick his drums in. It kind of all, because the way we write, our writing style as a band is it's a very good dynamic. It's the best that I've ever experienced out of any bands I've played with. Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm quite disappointed in your answer. Because I was expecting like blood in the walls and fights in the studio and stuff like that. But it sounds as if you're telling me like the band are in perfect harmony and constructing music, no problems at all.
I wouldn't say perfect harmony. There has been some very sort of heated moments, Cage, where it's like, no, I really like this, no, but I really like this, and you kind of like have to navigate that of two folk who are really passionate with their ideas being in the same song.
Yeah.
That isn't going to work, and nobody's going to back down. So we kind of have those little ones, but there tends to be no major fights.
We're all equally stuck in our own ways, to be fair. If you were to really put us in a room and say we want a song today, we want at least 2 songs today in the next 8 hours, then you would probably find that 2 of us would come out alive, maybe even 1 of us would come out of that alive.
But that's the thing, though. Like if you're in the rehearsal studio one night and you've got this riff, but it's not working, you can go back to it next week, and the guy Ethan might say to you, "See that riff that you played that last week? Bring it back in again," you know. And you never know. The riffs are there to be used and reused and whatnot. So you never know. Enjoy your Coke, Jack. But is there any way that you're going about the recording of this EP that you'll continue to use and have a settled formula, or are you quite open to finding new studios and new experiences, or do you think you've got the formula that you're happy with and you'll just stick with it for just now?
We're still fleshing a lot of that out, I think, in the grand scheme of things. because it's the first time around, a few things worked into it, Mickey, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
We're not the best way to do things. So, like tracking drums, first time we tried that was a nightmare. Second time was much better. Ethan's then go away and play guitar parts. So the song that's come single, Ethan's kind of done most of the guitar playing for that one. But the next one maybe Ethan and Jack will want to play their own bits together. How do you make that work?
Yeah.
So we're still figuring out what is the magic for us, what isn't.
For the moment, we found a fairly good formula as a sort of hobby band transitioning into trying to, release material. We found a good formula at the moment that kind of works for us. Yeah. I would say I'm pretty happy with it. I wouldn't be opposed to finding bigger and better ways as we go.
Yeah. Yeah. What about yourself, Ethan?
Yeah. Again, it's kind of see how it goes because we're mid process still figuring. There's still stuff to come, in the current process to see how we're going to go. Like, take all these tracks. How's it going to translate to mix and master and stage? How's it going to translate to the end product? And once it's all released, we can kind of sit back and reflect and go, okay, what can we do different next time?
Yeah.
So I guess it's just we're still mistakes we don't know we're going to make yet at the end of the day.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You just you never know what might happen. You might have a wee bit of success when you release the EP that gives you a bigger budget to do something the next time. You don't know. It's just you've just got to play it to the right person at the right time. Somebody spots you at the venue playing a gig, and I don't know, they're a bigger promoter or they're attached to a label or something like that. You just don't know. You have to give yourself 100% all the time. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys do that on October the 19th. But with Jack, with you being the main vocalist of the band there, and you kind of answered this a wee bit earlier, do you write all the lyrics or do all members contribute to the lyrics? Because what I was interested in was like what kind of lyricist that you are. Like, do you always have a wee notepad and a pen on you? You open your front door and you see something in the street, you take a note of it and you come back to it later on? Or do you read a lot of books? Do you watch a lot of documentaries, watch a lot of films? Where do you get your inspiration, or everybody get their inspiration for their lyrics?
So it's kind of, I've wrote most of the lyrics, but Martin's contributed, and then I've sent lyrics into the sort of band chat that we have, and Greg and Ethan are the same. They've contributed to parts here and there. It's like, nah, it should sound better like this. But I've got a wee book and pen. What I've taken up to, I'm like hungover after like a night out at my pals or something. I've literally wrote down, this is shit. Like, but it's just random ideas. If I'm like watching a movie or watching like something else a bigger band might do or whatever, I'm like, yeah, that could sound better if it was done this way, or these lyrics sound better. Like, I've got it sparks an idea in my head to actually get lyrics written down. So is anything to take inspiration from?
Yeah. Are some of the songs quite personal, or like are they personal experiences as well?
One of the songs that we're getting recorded now is kind of it's personal to Martin, but most of them are kind of imaginative, I guess, if that's the right word. Yeah. But we're looking further down the line. We have talked about doing kind of more personal songs to us. So, it's kind of throws everything at the band.
So would you? I speak to different vocalists. Like I speak to Quando of Brain Bath, for example, and he's like, I've already got 15 songs already written, because he watches horror movies or whatever like that, and he listens to his samples and things like that, and it's just one line, and then he writes a whole song about it and things like that. But then I speak to Carl Willits, and he waits for the music to be done, and then he writes the lyrics. So. Are you kind of like, you've got your book, you hear a riff and say, that's what's going to fit into that?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, really. It's like, once the majority of the time I've done it in the band is like, when the music's done, I can get a better idea of what the lyrics would slot into that well and how it would suit the song better. So I find it a hell of a lot easier to do it that way.
Yeah. But again, you're open to everybody, like doing the lyrics, like you're saying, Martin as well. So where do you get your inspiration from, mate?
A few different places. I tend to write about things that bother me to a degree, but then what I try and do is, instead of being very sort of, this is about this scenario, it's obvious, I try and take it to kind of someone else can relate to it.
Yeah.
So as much as I might have written something that's personal to me, I then try and depersonalize it so that it can apply to the bigger audience.
Absolutely.
It's not a song about something's happened to me, it's something's happened to 40 people in the audience or 15, however many people are there. It becomes a situation of, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
It becomes bigger for them, which I think is the important part. All of this is just made up. It's like, I'm on an angry day, right, let's just scroll some stuff and then I might tone it down a little bit and clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, quite right, quite right. So what about yourselves, Greg and Ethan? Like, are you quite handy with the pen as well, or do you just leave it to the other guys?
I couldn't write actual lyrics start to finish. I don't think I've got the brain for it.
It's an art form, isn't it? It's not
Absolutely.
not simple.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. But I think I know what sounds good and what not. So if you're to give me like a really good lyricist and give me 5 things, I'd be able to probably point out, I'd be able to trust my taste and what's probably good, but I wouldn't be able to come up with the initial concept.
Yeah.
I can go, oh, out of these 2 things, I think this one's better. I think
Yeah.
that's just generally my contribution. I don't.
So say, for example, Jack gave you a lyrics to a song about swords and dragons and mountains and stuff like that. Could you then just take the lyrics and just write a song about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially if it's about swords and dragons and mountains.
It's only kidding on, for fuck's sake.
Ricky, look what you've done now.
You're going to become power metal now.
Hey, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
You sing high enough, though, Jack.
See, I didn't think about that part, so I don't know about that.
No, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Listen, I've only got a couple of questions left. I really, really do appreciate the time that you've spent with me tonight. But what are you thinking of doing for the artwork for the EP? Have you got any ideas for it yet? Is it still a wee bit up in the air? Have you got an artist in mind who's going to do it?
Overall, art
sorry, you go,
isn't finished yet, but the single artwork is pretty much there already.
Okay. So who'd done the single artwork?
We'll just point down to the ginger in the corner there and let him take it away, because he's incredibly good with his artwork and whatnot, particularly his computery artwork. That's just wizardry to me.
Yeah, no, I can't draw really, but it's all just kind of like on Photoshop or Illustrator or something, you know, just kind of like photo bashes or kind of just photo manipulation stuff. So things that are probably more attuned to a graphic designer more than an actual sit-down artist thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would almost argue the single art right now could be the EP art, because it's the title track for the EP is the single. So it's like, I'm unsure.
I thought you were giving me an exclusive there.
Well, it is very tempting. The file is on my desktop, but you know.
I mean,
I wouldn't say no, Ethan.
Oh yeah, you want a sneak peek?
Well, I think we should put a wee sneak peek up there, Ethan.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I love it, because
This is
it'll all
not
be an
the-
article and it will attract people to the video. So absolutely get it up, mate. And I bet you that's not the first time you've heard that either.
It's potentially not the finalised version, but it'll be close enough to.
Yes, indeed. I'll just see if I can find it.
Right. Well,
Oh yeah, there we go.
you got it.
Yes, indeed.
The camera's moving.
Yes, camera's moving. And
Oh.
whoa,
This is
where's
history
the-
that's up just now. Just don't look too
What I
close.
see is
Where did I put it?
what I
There
see
we
is a finger, and I'm hoping it's a finger.
There we go. So yes, so yes. that's
Very
it.
nice. And there's the
Oh.
exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. You now know exactly what the EP is going to be called. Looking forward to it, guys. Looking forward to it very, very much. Looking forward to seeing on the 19th as well. But keeping on with the visual side of the album, you guys already have a YouTube channel set up with a couple of tracks on it. So do you see yourselves like doing a video for a song from the EP? And if you do have ideas of like for a video, are you going to be like in a forest and in the night and have light shining on you? Or are you going to be in an abandoned building? Or are you going to be in your own rooms and Matthew's using like kitchen pots and pans for the drums and stuff? Or what are you thinking?
I don't even know if we've thought about that yet, to be honest.
I think it really depends on what track we pick to do as a video, because they all have the difference between them. It's like, how do you make that a thing? Like the concept behind the artwork that you just saw is incredibly difficult to do at this point, because it requires certain things to be in place that we can't do at our current level.
Okay.
It needs more production to make that happen.
Yeah.
But some other singles might be easier to do.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. Who's to say that you don't do anything when the single comes out and release it at the same time, or who's to say that you're not going to hold back for a couple of months and release a video when the EP comes out?
I mean, to be fair, video-wise, we've got a couple of wee clips of us playing, whether it be in the studio or live performances, that we had kind of floated the idea of doing a sort of a playthrough style music video.
Yeah,
something along those lines, I think was a floated idea. I don't know if it was set in stone yet, though.
I mean, it's not going to be that expensive to do that. But again, it's another way of introducing your band to different audiences. So that's the thing with social media. You've got to whore yourself about, don't you? But listen, we've only got like 2 questions left. So you're going to be playing Moshville Rocktoberfest, right, on October the 19th, Glasgow, Ivory Blacks, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have got a half-hour set. I don't know whether I've told you that, but you do. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, what's the one song on the set list that you're looking forward to playing the most, and why?
Who wants to go first?
Anyone you want. Well, do you know what? Ethan's in the top left, so I'll go with Ethan and I'll go my way around.
It's a tie. It's a tie between the tune that Martin wrote, "Waiting for the Sun," the EP title. That one's always a fun one, and a tie between a song that I wrote called "Doomsday," because I wrote it to be thrashy, and I like thrashy. So I always like those two because they're a good bit of fun.
So what is it? Is it just it's not. Well, it's not. If it's thrash, it's not the solos. Then it's just you're allowed to let your hair loose when you play those songs.
Yeah, it's just I just like, it's one of the heavier bracket of the set list. Again, I don't set too much expectations. It's not super heavy at the end of the day. Yeah. It's just like it's like you take the Guns style and then add a wee bit of extra heaviness, a bit of extra thrash to the existing thing. So it's a wee bit of this is I'm now in my wheelhouse sort of thing. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Ethan. Jack, you're bottom left, so you can go next, mate. What's the song that you're looking forward to singing and playing your guitar to?
One I'm looking forward to most is Martin's song "Waiting for the Sun," because the amount of times we've had that song on blast, and it's took me. I've got home sitting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, being like, I still give you go. I've still got the adrenaline running through me and all. Oh, it's great, honestly. Like, that's the song I'm like sort of headbanging to and all the most. It's great. Oh yeah.
Nah, good stuff. Can't argue with that. Greg.
Yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Martin first because I actually can't decide.
I mean,
well, Martin, then we have to do it.
I mean, probably for me, it would be Manipulation.
Why?
As much as I love playing Sun, Manipulation is one of I like the beat in it. It's fun. It's very laid back sounding, and I like that. It's just that from the sort of in your face of all the rest of them, this one was like, and relax, but you're not relaxed at all. It's like, this just doesn't, it works, but it's just fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well, so Ethan's track that he mentioned, "Doomsday," has to be one of my favourites. You're going to get an absolute story from me here. For my deciding on which track I would say is my favourite. I do love "Doomsday" simply because the masterpiece that it is, from the time scale that Ethan had to write a song, and he just brought it to the table. Very little about it needed changed. It was perfect. It's absolutely amazing fun to play. It demonstrates, I think, all of our playing abilities. I absolutely love it. It's fun. It's high energy, and much the same as Jack, "Waiting for the Sun." It's a hype tune. It gives you energy. You find yourself wanting to jump about. You know, it's a good one to finish on, but you do find yourself sitting an hour after the set thinking, right, I want to play more.
Yeah.
I would not to sound big headed or anything, but my favourite song would be Manipulation, of which I wrote the full bass line. But it's the aim behind the song is that has fully been met, albeit I only recently revealed to the band that I wasn't a fan of some of the bits of the song that we'll maybe have to change up before releasing. But the aim of it's there. It's got enough energy that you can fit it anywhere in the set, and it's kind of been. And I only brought a bass line to the table. The rest of the guys get the full credit for writing the rest. Jack's lyrics, Ethan with his bits of solos,
but the bass line that you wrote in it was the bass solo, wasn't it? That's why you like the song's got a bass solo in it.
It's actually not all that difficult a bass line to play. It's just it's fun. It's got a kind of power to it that I like the feel of. And as Martin said, it's kind of a slower and lazier, but still got that driving power behind it. I do like that song.
Yeah.
Out of the three, though, I would say Waiting for the Sun has to be my favourite.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it. You know what to send it and you know where it will get played. So I don't know if I can give you any more subtle hints than that. But this is where you're probably going to talk about 40 minutes each, because this is where I just give you the opportunity to speak into the microphone and tell me the make and model of the instruments that you're using to record the EP, whether it's the same live or whatever like that. So tell me your amps, tell me your pedals, everything. So Ethan, like I said, you're the top left. So what's your guitar of choice? What did you use, mate?
So my guitar is a Jackson Randy Rhoads sort of bit of a. It's in the process of being characterized, so to speak. It's been ripped apart. It's not got a neck pickup.
You putting a 7-string on it?
Franken Jackson.
Exactly, Franken Jackson's thing, whatever. Unfortunately, it's 6-string, but I kind of it's home, isn't it? You know, it's a nice break from the 7 strings. But anyway, yeah. So it's not got a neck pickup. It's just just that Eddie Van Halen style, just gap in the neck pickup because I couldn't be bothered to wire it in once I was doing the rewiring. And then also I thought all these wires are really complicated, so why not just remove all the knobs and just wire straight from pickup to output. So it's a bit hard to tame. It's a wild guitar, but it's great. There's something in how haphazardly it's been stitched back together.
Yeah,
creates some sort of aura to it, and I just love to play it. It's like the more beaten up a guitar gets, the better it is to play, and that's what I got a feeling with the Jackson. It's kind of it's just pure like vibes, that guitar. So even if it's not my best guitar, maybe it's not the best sounding or whatever.
What are you going to do though if you're playing a half-hour set and you break a string?
You just well, that's why
you have a backup
to
guitar.
Yes, well, I don't use. I probably should bring it more often, because sometimes I go to gigs without a backup. But obviously, usually Jack kind of saves my life there. But if I was to take a backup, it'd be a Solar 7-string, like a.
So what pedals do you use?
So it's we're all digital. So I use an HX Stomp. Just 2 pedals, a Boss tuner into an overdrive pedal into the HX Stomp.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'm not talking from a personal point of view, but I think you should bring in a wee bit of an HM2 sound into your guitar tone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a wee bit of Swedish death metal there, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. You know, at least 5 of them in the line to get the proper. Yeah, absolutely.
A chainsaw. Anyway. Right, thanks for that, Ethan. Did you realise, guys, that that's the most that Ethan's talked in the whole interview? It's like, just ask him what his guitar is and that's him. Yep. All good. What about yourself, Jack? What's your guitar of choice, mate?
So guitar of choice is Jackson Kelly that I've got. 6-string, just in your face. It's really, I think it's not an auburn bust. It's a sort of red bust on it. It's really nice. But and then
Jack,
What?
You in the guitar room, just pull it out.
No, it's like all my guitars are in my room, mate. I've changed it. See, keep them guessing. And then I've got a Headrush MX5 that I use on stage as well, which Martin actually introduced me to it, and I fell in love with it straight away. Brilliant, honestly, brilliant pedalboard.
So what was it you were using before, and what was it about the sound that you liked?
So I didn't actually like
I thought that was an easy
before,
question.
to be honest.
That's a whole other kettle of fish.
Oh yeah, I had a Line 6 board that I was using. Was second hand, and within like the first 6 months, it gubbed out on me, and had problems ever since with it that I never sorted. So it's a huge upgrade from it. So
I think what you don't know, Jack, is that the guys were talking about kicking you out the band, because you never sorted it.
they did tell me that. It got me very upset, so I had to change it.
Good stuff. Greg, you're next, mate. Your bass of choice, man.
My bass of choice, practice-wise, I've got a nice PV Millennium 4-string. I very much do like my active basses, so both my kind of primary go-to basses are active. The PV is my kind of practice at home, doesn't really make its way out very much because the sound from it's a bit iffy. It's still to be kind of perfected, but my stage and my recording is all on a Spectre NS Ethos 5-string. Most amazing bass that I ever played, and fair play to the wee guy at Guitar that was like, yeah, you don't want any of these, you want this. And I was like, no,
wow.
but I really like these ones. And he went, nah, you want that, try it. We'll even put it through what you use setup wise, like my pedals and whatnot, which takes me to, I use we're all digital. Well, I'm not technically digital, but we'll kind of bracket it under that. So we've got it's a little dark glass Microtubes B7K Ultra, which just it's like an amp and a pedal essentially. Yeah. Just you can DI it out. You could plug it into an amp, use it as a pedal. That's pretty much me with a Boss tuner in the top.
Something tells me you're like the geek of the band. You're the one with the biggest pedal board going into the gig.
Me?
Yeah, from what you've just told me there, yeah.
Do you know, I didn't actually, I kind of used to be, but now not so much. It's literally 2 pedals in a DI box. But I used to run with great question. I used to run 2 distortion pedals. One was a Electro-Harmonix Big Muff, and one was just a Boss distortion into an amp after I'd mucked about with trying to use wah pedals and whatnot. But I kind of wanted to simplify it and kind of make it easier, make it more mobile.
I thought being the bassist was the most boring part of the band, but you've made that sound quite interesting, mate. Thanks very much.
Well, my tone is all, and I don't think I could get the tone that I get without using the particular bass and pedal setup that I've got, because I heavily rely on the tone control from an active and the tone control from the distortion channel on my Wii amp. So yeah, I'd be stuck without it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks very much for that, Greg. Thank you. Last but not least, Martin.
For me, it's pretty simple and straightforward. Drum shells are pedal exports, kind of the 2012 relaunches, which are based off of the big ones from the 80s, 90s. I run Sabian cymbals, HX and AAXs predominantly, and then snare drums, either the pedal match snare drum to the kit, or as my Iron Maiden Spirit of Maiden snare drum, which I got given to me. Well, it's signed by Nicola McBrain from Iron Maiden, and that
I knew that.
And on my feet, I'm running.
You told me that last Thursday, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Since you weren't there, Jack, thank you.
And the final sort of bit is on my feet. I'm running the tried and trusted Tam Iron Cobras for my double kick pedals when I don't have both my bass drums available to me.
Yeah. So two quick questions for you then. What size of drumsticks and what drumsticks you use? And also with the snare drum then, the sound, have you found that you've been tweaking it for this recording?
So stick-wise, I'm using a mixture of ProMark and the LA Specials, which kind of like the sticks aren't good enough to be ProMarks, but they're still good quality.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I used 7As, which is a jazz stick. A lot of drummers use 5As or 5Bs.
Yeah.
So I pick up my sticks and go, but you've got all the really light, which is a good laugh. And yeah, I'm still playing around a lot with my settings, my snare drum.
5 BRs.
Yeah.
I'm an air drummer, by the way.
That's all right. But when I see you come up and I'll hand you a pair of sticks, you'll be surprised just how light they are.
Yeah.
And then you'll be surprised by just how much volume I get out of them. Snare drum wise, I'm still working quite a lot on the sort of sound for it. Like I'm trying different various, like I'm going between the sort of Remo and Evans heads, just to kind of see what I can get in different like thicknesses of skin, just to know that's the sound I want, that's the crackiest that I want.
Yeah.
Which is quite difficult to sort of nail down.
There was one night we went up to the unit that Martin was talking about. Now, this is Martin just not letting on about how much effort he's probably the geekiest out of all of us with kit. Right. So I went up and I said to my fiance, look, well, a girlfriend at the time, but said to her, look, I'm gonna go up and see Martin and help him out with his drum kit. I'll only be about an hour there, so it'll be okay. So I arrived with him at about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then
You got home on a Sunday.
we left at about midnight, nearly 1 in the morning. I got home to Katie, God bless her, at like 2-3 in the morning. Woke up wee Keris, woke her up, and woke the dogs were upset and everything. And she goes, "Where were you?" And she still holds me to this day that I'm always late when I come out to see these guys, because we just, Martin saying to me, "I'll just take a wee bit to do these heads on these drums," and he's sitting playing about, setting the kit up, getting all the skins taken off the drums, sitting outside, and what it must have been the hottest day of the year last year. It was still about 200 degrees come midnight, and honestly, just hours of Martin being anal about his drums.
There's nothing worse than a bad sound of drum kit.
The only time there's ever nearly been blood on the walls with Martin and myself.
But you know what, Greg? It was nice to know that you were wanted when you eventually got home. So it's well, when I say wanted, you probably got things thrown at you first.
Nearly sleeping on the couch.
And were you really out with Martin, all that type of thing, you know?
In my defence, when he asked me, "Do you want a hand with the drums?" and I went, "This will take a while."
Yeah.
I do believe on the day that he told me, he said, "No, it should take a couple of hours." It took a couple of hours, all right, and another couple of hours later, I got home.
I mean, it was the first
I think
time
Martin, he must have been enjoying himself, because he never says, "Right, that's it, I'm off." He stayed to the bitter end. So he enjoyed himself as well. So you're equally as anal about his drums. But let's just change the subject. Cheers, guys. And Jack, we're actually going to be coming back to you, because you're also the vocalist of the band. So are you the type of vocalist that's done the research to find out what's the best microphone that gives you the best sound? Or are you the type of vocalist that, give me an SM50 and I'll fucking sing into it?
You hit the nail on the head with the second one. It's literally an SM58 I use in the studio as well.
Is it?
I'll literally just go for it. But I've got different mics as well. There's a few I'd like to get. Yeah. A few I'd like to dive into. So.
The other microphone is the 57, by the way. It's not much better.
I've got both, mate. So I'm sorted.
Christ. Is there a different manufacturer that you're looking at? Is there a particular range that you're looking into, or?
Not really, to be honest. I'm just kind of having a wee skim, to be honest, just now. So.
You know, guys, see, for your albums and everything like that, it's going to be an SM50 all the way.
Over my dead body.
I'll just write on it SM57. It'll be fine. I'll throw them over Martin's eyes. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. So listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and talking to you again, Martin, for the second time. Great taking the mickey out of you, Jack. Great to meet you, Greg, and of course, Ethan. Very much looking forward to seeing you on October the 19th. Do you have any gigs after that?
As of right now,
No.
Or are you
not this year.
concentrating and getting the recording done, and then next year, that's when you'll go out on the road? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, and imagine like you'll have your own headline slot. I mean, I saw you at 13th Note on YouTube and things like that. Unfortunately, that won't be happening. But there's perfectly good places where you can do it, Sleazy's and stuff like that, or whatever, you know. So, Ivory's as well, of course. So, we're looking forward to like when you have your EP release show. So let us know when that is happening. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the 19th of October, guys. And I know that this will not be the last time that we'll talk. And stay good.
Cool. Cheers, Ricky. Thanks very much.
Thank you
Thank you very
again.
much.
Cheers.
You're welcome.